Good morning, children. The continuation of the lesson Our Community Life Unity in Diversity. Let us recapitulate the previous session what we have been discussed. Community and interdependence we have discussed about the family, the school, the neighborhood, and how the community depends upon economic development. And today we are going to discuss about the community cultural development. Children, in the early stages of settled life, man had a lot of leisure time which he used to for roaming around, singing, playing, dancing, painting, and other means of entertainment. Why? Because he got a lot of leisure time. In the later stages, took the form of hobbies like art and craft, painting, sculpture, architecture, music, dance, and literature. Children, in day to day time, the activities keep on changing with the time and place. There are different food habits, dresses, dance forms, paintings, martial arts, games, and sports varies from region to region because of geographical and climatic conditions of that particular area. Because of migration, the interaction of various community influence the others' customs, beliefs, and traditions. For example, food habits in Kolkata. Bengali thali is very famous. Dance is Kirtana dance, folk dance. Whereas food habits of Kerala, that is very famous food is Irachi Jistu, dance is Kathakali. Like that, in the same way, Gujarati food, Khandari, that is Dhokla dish, dance is Dhandiya. Next subtopic comes to is diversity in India. What is diversity? It means understanding that each individual is unique and recognizing our individual differences like race, socio-economic status, gender, religious beliefs, political beliefs, etc. We are going to call it as a diversity. India is a large country extending from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Arunachal Pradesh to Ankleshwar. Where is Ankleshwar? Ankleshwar in Gujarat. Variety of climatic conditions, soils, irrigation methods, cultural and religious backgrounds symbolize diversity in various fields. Not only this, the food habits of people, the clothes they wear, and work they do in different parts of the country. You will clearly notice that the variety and diversity of different regions, even within a region, the lifestyle is very much different in rural as well as in urban areas. For example, India is diversity in many aspects like culture, customs, traditions, food habits. In spite of these many diversities, we stand as a unity among the Indians. It is clearly seen in the society from place to place, state to state, person to person, variations in their lifestyles in that particular region. The historical facts, the geographical conditions, the social and economic factors, the diversity in India is provided us a glorious past, and rich cultural heritage. This has paved the way for unity in diversity in India. Next subtopic comes to is unity in diversity. India's unity in diversity is a unique feature which has always been in our source of strength. The happiness of farmers is expressed through festivals like Baisakhi in Punjab, Onam in Kerala, and Pongal in Tamil Nadu. Similarly, Garba Nritya of Gujarat, Bihu dance of Assam, and Ghumar of Rajasthan vividly reflect the culture and traditions of the communities of these regions. The richness of Indian traditions lies in the belief that all cultures are equal. India is multicultural, multi customs, multi traditional, and multilingual country. Here we can see different diversities in one nation. Constitution has recognized 22 languages and Hindi is the official language. Apart from this, nearly 19,500 languages spoken in India and 3,000 castes are there in India. People celebrate national festivals with great patriotism and enthusiasm. To show the unity of India, the worshipping of different gods and goddesses in different religions like Christians, Muslims, Hindus, etc., make the symbol of unity in the country. Every farmer celebrate the harvesting festivals in different states, as it is said to be that if farmer is happy, entire nation will be happy. Why? Because he is the real hero for us to feed millions of mouths. People will be engaged in different occupations for the smooth functioning of the nation without any hurdles. Next subtopic comes to is inequalities and constitutional provisions to safeguard them. To whom? To the public, to the society. Unfortunately, increasing social and economic inequalities both in rural and urban areas have led to more discrimination in society. In our day to day life, we find that the poor and the downtrodden are being exploited and ill treated by the rich. That means inferior. Always on inferiors, there is a upper hand by the superior people. These types of differences cannot be called a form of diversity, but they are inequalities, prejudices, and discrimination. What is meant by the word prejudice and discrimination? Prejudice means prejudgment, preconceived notions one might have against any region, against to the region, against to the religion, color of the skin of an individual, their accent spoken language, even the kind of language they speak or clothes they wear. They may be in the form of dhoti or it may be in the form of other means of dress. Discrimination means happens when people act on their prejudices. What do you mean by prejudice? Means inequalities. These prejudices, people act in a biased manner. For example, the Britishers discriminated against the Indians largely because of their prejudices and a feeling of superiority complexes among the Britishers. India is facing multi challenges since from the independence in many tasks. In this subtopic, we will discuss few problems which was not uprooted from the society, like inequalities in income and wealth. That means there is a large differences between the income as well as wealth which is distributed among the people. Social evils, untouchability, gender bias, unemployment, illiteracy, casteism, religion, discrimination, etc. All it is shown in the name of inequalities as well as superiority. Many reformers fought against many evils in the society. Even then, still, it is widespread in India. In spite of constitutional provisions to bring change in social, economic, and political equality in India, it did not got success in the society. Constitution has been given provisions six fundamental rights like right to freedom, right to equality, right to exploitation, right to freedom of religion, right to cultural as well as educational right, right to constitutional remedies. In practice, in practically also, to some extent, it is not got succeeded in the society. Provided by the constitution, all the fundamental rights due to the loopholes in the constitution, accurate services is not getting to the public. The directive principles of state policy are guidelines to the government at different levels to plan and act upon on some goals to reach in the society, but still it is in achievement mode only. Still, they did not succeeded in the community to get certain sort of goals for the poor sections of the people in the society. Many social reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and many more have already done a lot to get rid of these inequalities and other social evils which is prevailing in the society, like untouchability, gender bias, unemployment, illiteracy, etc. Even then, many evils are still widespread in India. The fundamental rights, like as we discussed in the above, right to freedom, right to equality, right against exploitation, etc., have been incorporated in the Constitution. The directive principles of state policy are guidelines to the government at different levels to plan and act upon. These directive principles have gone a long way in achieving the national goals of economic and justice. Next, let us know about Swami Dayanand Saraswati. He is a great social reformer. He traveled across the country. His mission is to enlighten to the public. Not only that, he wanted to raise the spirit of nationalism, love towards to the country, and he wanted to bring the awareness based on the equality and the dignity of the individuals to respect them. And he is totally against to the caste system, and he want to know of the root cause of the social inequality and discrimination in the Indian society. According to him, all are born equal only with equal rights. There should be no discrimination shown on anyone. He strongly advocated the cause of education to everybody, to all that is, and to uplift the upliftment of the women's and downtrodden people in the society. Those are going to belong to the lower caste, that is SC as well as ST. Next subtopic comes to is our rural community. Let us know how this rural community is going to live in the rural. Rural community people are innocent, illiterate. They show love, care, mercy on the other people without any hesitation. Their lifestyle is different from the urban. People, most people depend on the agriculture sector. Due to development in technology, there is progress in the field of agriculture sector today. They started using machinery in the farmlands. Due to migration from rural to urban and urban to rural, there is a drastic change in the lifestyle of the rural population. In spite of continuous efforts, the farmers are facing the problems of marketing, finance, rural indebtedness, bonded labor, etc. In spite of changing of many governments, the faith of the farmer remains same till date. It is the responsibility of every Indian to stand together and try to solve these problems on war footing. India is mainly a land of villages. Two-thirds of the population of our community lives in villages only. Most of the rural population depends upon agriculture as their means of livelihood. That is nearly 70% of the people depends upon agriculture sector. The use of electricity has revolutionized the rural life like television, radio, telephone and different types of home appliances are common in rural areas nowadays. New agricultural implements, fertilizers, and finances are easily available. They have helped the farmers to ensure green revolution in the country. It has changed the lifestyle of the rural population. In spite of the continuous efforts since independence, many problems still persist. Many of our villagers are still underdeveloped, unhygienic, and without even the basic amenities or life, the village people are suffering. The villagers also face the problem of inequality, illiteracy, ignorance, rural indebtedness, unemployment, and bonded labor. Do you know? Because of green revolution, the things which has been developed in the food crops is green revolution has been given more importance in the production of food grains. White revolution has been related in the increasing of milk production. Blue revolution has been given for the production of fish production. Yellow revolution has been given importance of producing of oil seeds. Here it comes the green revolution. Who is the father of our green revolution? Mr. Swaminathan, that is MS Swaminathan, is known as the father of green revolution. He began in India, that is in the year 1960s, to increase the production of crop. First, he has been selected the white as well as rice crops, and apart from that, Punjab was the first state to try the new crops. And the second green revolution started in the 2009 in the eastern states of India. Next, the last subtopic comes to is our urban community. Our urban community leads a life of luxury in the community. Their lifestyle and food habits are different. People background will be from different professions. Due to the job opportunities and availability of some basic amenities, the rural people started migrating to the urban areas. It made more overcrowded and it leads to the problem like disposal of city waste, lack of proper sanitation, drainage, scarcity of clean drinking water, etc. So, it is the responsibility of the government to give the equal importance in the development of the regions and provide employment opportunities without showing partiality in the regions. Life in towns and cities is comparatively smooth and comfortable due to the industrialization. Job opportunities in cities have increased considerably. The basic amenities like drinking water, electricity, dispensaries and hospitals, schools and colleges, availability of goods of daily requirements, food, textiles, hardware, etc., are available in abundance in urban areas compared to the rural. More and more people from the rural areas, towns, and cities have become overpopulated and scarcity in basic amenities. What the amenities will get in the rural, more than that, the amenities we are going to get in the urban. That's why people started migrating from rural to urban areas. In spite of tremendous development in the field of transport, the roads are overcrowded, disposal of city waste, lack of proper sanitation and drainage, scarcity of clean drinking water, etc., are making the city life very difficulties in today. Thanking you, children. I hope everyone enjoyed today's class. Any queries, post in personal WhatsApp groups. In the next class, I'm going to give the notes as well as I'm going to give the objectives. So, thank you. Have a nice day. Good morning, children.